Information occultation. If you've never heard of it, neither had we, chances are you're actually quite familiar with when things become more complicated than are necessary. Whether writing hard to follow code, making UI that's overly difficult to understand, or taking part in the Rockstar Developer mentality, it's not uncommon for developers to know these kinds of work practices all too well. But using the advice and wisdom of NX DevTools and NX Cloud Core team member Hanna Pearce, we can work to keep things clean, simple, and understandable from both a code and human perspective, and probably for Kelpies too. Don't code to live the Dev.Life.
Hello, Angular community. I'm Jeff Gross, the CEO of Narwhal. We're proud to partner with the Angular Experience podcast to highlight the people who are doing great things in the Angular community. Narwhal has been a leader in the Angular community since Victor Safkin and I left the Angular team at Google to start the company back in 2016. Now we're joined by other leaders in the Angular community, including open source maintainers and Angular GDEs. We're also the proud creators and maintainers of the popular build framework NX. We work alongside Angular development teams to help them solve big organizational and architectural challenges, and to help their engineers develop a deeper understanding of Angular and NX in the process. If Narwhal can help your team move faster and level up, reach out at nrwl.io.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Nichol, Angular GDE and all-around Angular lover, and I'm here to talk about Kendo UI for Angular. It's a UI library designed and built specifically for Angular. It includes over 100 professional UI components that are fully accessible, easily integrate into existing design systems, and, of course, backed by our legendary technical support team. The UI components range from things like data grid and scheduler to form elements, date pickers, and drop-downs, all within one library. See the full list and demos at kendoui.com.
Welcome, everyone, to the Dev.Life podcast. I'm Erik, your co-host, and Brooke is with us, your other co-host.
I am here.
And today we're joined by the jocular. Is that how you pronounce this word?
It is, yes.
Totally is.
I didn't write this.
By the jocular Hanna Pearce, a senior engineer at Narwhal.
Thanks for the alliteration. I appreciate it.
It's like our new tradition. Every guest that comes on, I'm glad that someone's noticed because nobody else has noticed this yet.
It's because Joanna's a poet, you know?
She is, yes.
It has been known occasionally.
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, and, you know, we appreciate that so much about you that Brooke wrote a poem about you, actually. So it's not a very good poem, but don't tell her I said that.
Let me be the judge of that.
We have a poem. Erik, are we reading this one line each? Like, should we do it 2 verses each, or?
No, you can read the whole thing, Brooke.
The whole thing. Okay, here we go. We have Johanna on the show. She's a brilliant Narwhalian, didn't you know? She lives in a land across the pond. We'll listen to her advice today and beyond. The end.
So on a scale of 1 to 10,
I was expecting to carry on, but
we could have.
Always leave them wanting more.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. That's quite the compliment. Okay. Well, good job, Brooke. I also helped write it. Now that you said it was good, then
I'll take a little credit. You'd throw me under the bus if it wasn't really good.
I'm just teasing everybody. Well, we know it's really late for you over there in Scotland, so we appreciate you staying up with us.
You're welcome. It's absolutely fine. It's a delight to be here. I'd say that if we were in a studio, to be in my own study and about 5 feet away from my own bed.
There we go. With Fidget the cat that is just begging you to call it quits, turn off the lights, and snuggle. Yeah.
Yep. I think he's sulking now, actually.
And we also had fun meeting you in person a few weeks ago at NGConf. You have a really great wit, sly humor. I find that really awesome. And I think it'll be a treat for our listeners today because they'll get to listen to you and no pressure, but just getting to know you a little bit more beyond the technical parts that you've done. And we have a very interesting topic, which actually you brought to us, which these are my favorite episodes because that means you're passionate about it. And help me explain this later, but we called it, or you've called it information occultation, which is also very nice rhyming structure there.
I love it. I love it. It's something I came up with myself, but I mean, it literally just means information hiding. And occultation is actually like a not like it is actually an astronomy phenomenon. An eclipse is a lunar eclipse is an occultation of the sun by the moon. So it's when one thing goes in front of another. But it has this sort of slight dual meaning of raising something to the occult, which is something that I think devs do a lot of. You know, they like to believe that the knowledge that they have is special and secret and arcane. And no, it's not. It really isn't. It shouldn't be.
Well said. Hopefully y'all got a good glimpse of what we're going to be speaking about today. We are really excited to get into that. But as we always like to do, we want to showcase even more of you personally, Joanna. So we're going to do a game. The game that we have chosen for you specifically is a game we call Cool Beans. Brooke, would you like to explain this for us?
Oh, totally. Yes, I love this game. All right, it is Cool Beans because what we're going to do is go through a list of topics, and we're just going to read them off as quickly as we can. And all you have to do, Joanna, is respond back as fast as you can with the first thing that comes to mind that you would say is the coolest of that topic. So this is why it's Cool Beans.
The coolest. I'm not that cool. Not really. We'll see.
I would beg to differ, but yeah, it's pretty fun. And don't feel like you have to explain your answers like a particular Jeff Cross, who explained his answers after each response. But no, we don't need to explain those answers yet. We'll come back and we'll circle back on some of them after.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, let's do this.
All right.
Be on.
All right, I'll lead us out. All right, Cool Beans, book to movie adaptation.
Dune. I'm going to say which one.
Okay, next one is type.
So you know, type. I mean, I'm going to say Helvetica, but alternately covariant types.
Bread.
Bread. Tiger bread.
Comedy.
Comedy. I'm going to say Josie Long, actually.
Road trip.
I didn't go on road trips that much because I do drive. I just don't have a car. Seaside or the beach, depending on which side of the pond you are.
Love it. All right, and again, depending on where you're from, you either say fall or autumn. So a fall or an autumn activity.
Well, for me, it's archery, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm hoping I'm going to get back into it. I've been off it for a while, partly due to COVID, and there being so much stuff on in summer. But yeah.
Yeah, totally. We'll ask you more about it in a bit. So
Sure.
Cool Beans landmark.
I'm going to say the Kelpies at Falkirk. If you don't know what a Kelpie is, I can go into that, but you said make it quick.
We're going to go into that for sure, yeah.
Fair enough.
Foreign word.
I was between two, but I think I know which one I'm going to pick. See, I was thinking Schadenfreude, but it's kind of a British word now because we've kind of co-opted it. You know, English tends to like mug other languages for their verbs and nouns, but I quite like Weltschmerz.
All right, and last but not least, website.
And it's Dev, obviously. No, is Zombo.com still a thing?
I don't know. Is it safe to go to this website?
Oh yeah, definitely safe. Yeah, it's just weird.
Zombo.com?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah, it's totally a thing. I don't know what's happening, but it's cool.
Like spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of these things you just have to listen to with sound up.
Okay. Definitely listen to that later. Okay, so you have made it through Cool Beans, but we for sure have to dive into some of these. Okay, so Dune, you said, book movie adaptation. So you enjoyed. Now sometimes, not sometimes, like most of the time, I think a movie version of the book is just awful. So did you feel like they pulled Dune off pretty well? Were you happy with it? And I should also ask, is this the, what was it, 2021 version? What year did it come out? Or like the 1970 something version?
No, the other one was 1984.
Okay.
Maybe, I think. The Villeneuve one was I think it was 21. Maybe. Yeah. I'm actually tied between them, to be honest. I love the original. I love the original particularly because it's eminently quotable. It's like literally the only film to which I know almost the entire intro off by heart. But the Villeneuve one looks amazing. It's more accurate to the story, and the special effects are way better. But it's not very quotable. I mean, I can't think of a single line from the film that sticks in my head.
So they focus more on the visual aspects rather than like the dialogue and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I will always remember, the look of Arrakis and that scene with Baron Harkonnen like rising out of the oil, which is just absolutely stunning. I mean, they had to like invent a totally different way of doing green screens to actually do this. I think they used sand-colored screens. It's because otherwise they'd have to like filter out the green light being reflected from the backdrops. So they had to use backdrops that didn't do that, and I think it works quite well. But anyway, the original, super quotable.
Awesome. All
right, let's hear more about the comedian that you chose.
Josie Long is a very political comedian working in the UK. There's not a lot I can say more I can say about her. I just think she's really good. She's very funny, but also happens to align with my slightly lefty politics. So
I will say, like, I absolutely love British comedy. Like, I don't know if it's just because I've grown up with what we have here in America, and I'm just kind of like done with it. But I'm someone that I don't really think Saturday Night Live is funny. I don't really get into that kind of humor, but I could sit down and watch like Graham Norton all day long. And like I said, maybe it's just because he's not here and it's less accessible, so I'm not around it all the time. But I love that British humor.
We can't claim Brooke's love for British comedy, but I appreciate it about you because you always introduce me to things I've never heard of before.
Right. Oh man, hopefully that's a good thing.
I know it's not my favorite, but I'm a little sad about the news that Trevor Noah's not going to be on the Daily Show anymore. I really like Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
Is he South African?
He's South African, yeah.
The one that I saw him recite some poem in Xhosa at one point, and it was possibly the sexiest thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, I love it. Okay, now I've never heard of tiger bread, so tell me more about tiger bread.
It's bread that looks like a tiger. I don't actually know how you make it. It's basically very fluffy, crusty white bread, with some glaze on it that cracks up when it cooks. That makes it look sort of like tiger stripes.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you were going to say something like here. Do you guys have like marble bread? What we call marble bread in America?
If it's marbled with different sort of colors of dough, then
Yeah, it's like I think it's rye and something else. It's like rye and some other kind of more savory bread. But it's
I
just
think we can get it, but we don't. It's not very common over here. It's probably the kind of thing you get at maybe Whole Foods, something like that.
Yeah, yep, that's probably exactly where
I
you
used
get
to work
it.
at a bakery a long time ago, but I don't recognize either of those breads.
Oh,
So
really?
I Googled them, and it sounds like tiger bread comes from the Netherlands originally, which is pretty
Okay.
cool. My friend Reinhard in the Netherlands, I give you a salute.
Nice.
Very good things come out of the Netherlands. Yes, it's true.
That's true. Well, cool. I think we had one that I wanted to circle back on, but I can't pronounce
Foreign-
these words.
Foreign word. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't pronounce words. I do know what Kelpie is, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We need no Kelpie.
You know what Kelpies are? Amazing.
But for Brooke's sake, please explain.
Kelpies are Scottish mythical creatures.
Okay, I thought so.
They're a bit like mermaids in a way, except they take the form of dark horses in the water, and then they can transform into humans when they come out of the water.
Nice. Well, not nice. That'd be actually quite terrifying, but
Essentially, apparently, the one loch in Scotland that has the most Kelpie myths around it is, of course, Loch Ness.
I've been there. I don't ever remember touching water before and thinking how cold something was. Like it was just icy cold, but it was the coolest place. I was so much fun. I loved being there.
It's beautiful. I love Loch Ness. It's huge.
It is.
So big.
Yeah.
So you look at the population of the world in there, it's like 5 times over.
Really?
It's ridiculous.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that. That's impressive.
Yeah, in my university days, someone threw that back at me, and I was like, no, surely not. Surely I was doing physics degree at the time. And I thought, hey, you know what? Let's calculate it. Right, okay, let's assume that everyone is a point sphere, or like the whole milk production cow joke. But we figured out. Well, I think we were actually assuming everyone was like a cylinder or something. A cylinder roughly 6 foot tall. But yeah, it's absolutely possible.
That's amazing. I love these kinds of facts. Okay, and then you kind of had 2 foreign words though. She pulled it Brooke, Erik.
Yeah, she's Brooke.
Brooke, I'm pretty well known for like if we're supposed to give one response, I somehow find a way to slip 2
She
or
always
3
asks
in
a
there.
question, and she answers 3 times. But it's always great. I always like it, Brooke. I'm never like condescending you. Like that is awesome that you're so talented at coming up with 3 things when only 1 question was asked.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't even like mean to, but it just happens. I like sharing. But this is cool. So now I'm not the only one who's done this. Okay, you have 2 foreign words. Let's learn about them.
Yeah, well, the first is I'll give a word that's actually a foreign word now, because Schadenfreude is definitely a word that we all know. You know, taking pleasure in other people's misfortune. And German is fantastic for words like this. I love German for just having these brilliant, I mean, like Schadenfreude and Zeitgeist and this other one, Weltschmerz, which I think literally just means world hurt. But it's kind of world weariness, I guess, or pain at the world. It feels like a very very Nietzschean kind of nihilistic kind of word.
Feels like a very appropriate
for the times at the moment, but let's not go into that.
Do you ever have those goals? Like I used to have friends where they would wake up and they'd look up the word of the day and it would be like their complete objective that day to find a way to use it in a sentence. Do you ever do that?
I do not. No. Although if I happen to come across a really fantastic word, I will usually just tell people about it.
Nice.
I can't be subtle. I can't just slip it into a conversation, mostly because they won't know what the word means and it would just be lost. One of my favorite words for this is tmesis, which is literally the only word I know that starts with TM.
Well, I'm done Googling things, so this one's yours, Brooke.
I can't pretend to be smart. What does that one mean?
So tmesis is it's the act of interjecting one word into the middle of another word.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to think of a non-rude way of using it, because what you tend to do is you tend to stick a swear word in the middle of another word.
Okay.
So if you're allowed this word, you say something like absolutely.
Nice. Okay.
So that's the word for that. Okay. Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about Zombo.com, but I unmuted it, and then I kind of know. It's like it doesn't take much explaining. You know what I mean?
It really doesn't know.
So if y'all go to that and you have an epiphany, let us know.
It's been around for probably 20 years. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Joanna, you have not only survived, but you've thrived. You showed the rest of the folks out there how to do cool beans. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let's go ahead and get into the main interview.
Oh, there's more of this. Oh my god.
We just got you in the habit of answering our questions, so now we're gonna pick your brain for all the answers to our deep questions.
We're looking for more of this tmesis. Is it tmesis?
Absolutely.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Yes.
This episode is sponsored by This.Labs. If you want to join us on our mission to advance the web, please consider becoming a member of our team. We're hiring software engineers, engineering managers, and more. Open to applicants from around the globe and always 100% remote. Between working for us and delivery, you'll literally never have to leave your house again.
Please note that This.Labs does encourage employees to go outside and touch grass.
Learn what we're all about and apply at this.co/jobs.
All right. So Johanna, the first time I remember learning about who you are, like seeing you was actually as a speaker at NGConf, and you often give really great talks. Like I think they are some of the most well remembered. And amongst those was actually one that you gave that was a poem, and it was called it was called Angular. No, I'm saying this wrong. It was a poem about Angular called A is for Angular. I can speak to everybody. And we actually put the link for